everybody, and welcome to the Keto 101 videos with Yogi. Make sure that you click like and subscribe down below so that you can get all the new videos. Give us feedback on the comments, and make sure you check the show notes for any kind of offers or links to products that we may mention into the show videos. Also, remember, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is simply guidelines of how to do a ketogenic diet in basic standards and how I would follow the ketogenic diet. All right, everybody, have a great day and enjoy. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another Keto 101 with Yogi. And today we're going to talk about the game of, is this food keto? If you're on the groups online, you'll constantly see, especially from new people, they will have a picture of some sort of processed food that they bought, and they'll have a picture of the back, and they'll be asking, is this keto? And the answer to that is maybe. It depends on you. We all have different tolerances to a different amounts of carbs. So whether or not a food is keto strictly depends on whether or not it kicks you out of ketosis. So to find out if a food is keto, you would eat it, test. If you're out of ketosis, not keto. Now, that being said, there are some things that definitely do not fall, for most of us, in a keto range. And to make things easier on yourself, simply look at the ingredients on the back. If it has anything in there that's sugar, that's not a sugar alcohol, you want to eliminate it. They do disguise sugar with a billion names out there. There's dehydrated cane juice, fructose. There is cane sweetener I have seen, corn sweetener, dextrose, there's sucrin, all kinds of things out there. They're all sugar. They'll say natural sugars. Natural sugars are still sugars. They still affect your body. Fruit sugars, still sugars. Coconut sugar, still a sugar. Molasses, honey, all of these things are sugars, and they are going to spike your blood sugar. And as a general rule, excluding these things from your diet will be your keto foods. Now, there are oftentimes foods out there that will fit in your macros. They do not contain sugars, but they may carry some nefarious sweeteners or nefarious oils that you really don't want to put in your body if you understand what it does to your body. So you want to avoid things with processed oils like canola oil, sunflower oil, cottonseed oil, vegetable oil, soy oil. All of these are made with a process that is extremely toxic, causes the oils to go rancid, and they oxidize, creating a lot of free radicals in your system, and actually can lead to some really bad health problems on a lot of people. Interesting fact, a lot of the negative research that's put out about keto often feeds people these bad oils and then notes the bad side effects and says all keto is bad. They literally stack the deck to make the keto diet into a bad diet. And it's very easy to make a keto diet into a bad diet by doing it improperly. So you really want to learn how to do it properly, what oils to get, what foods to include in your diet, and which foods should absolutely be avoided. So when you're reading the labels, there are several places you can go online that will list out different types of sugar that are hidden in there. You also want to read the nutritional facts and look at the serving sizes and how many calories of sugar are in per serving size. Now, some things will say low carbohydrate meal or low carbohydrate food, keto friendly, and then you look at the serving size and it's something ridiculous, like a little tiny palm full of keto cereal that is less than a fourth of a cup, that we all know we're not going to eat a fourth of a cup. But if you eat more than a fourth of that cup, you are going to blow your macro ratios. So pay attention to that as well. If you look at the serving size and you know you're going to eat more than that serving size, but you look at the carb count per serving size and it is high for a keto diet. Let's say one of the cereals that we looked at for one of our product reviews, for a tiny, I think it was 1/4 of a cup, I mean a tiny amount, literally hit your carb count for the day, even if you were a net carber. So there's a difference between net carbs and total carbs, but you have to be very careful with these things. To me, if what they're labeling in there is less than a serving size that I would eat as your total carb count for the day, and I know I'm going to eat more than that, well, that food's not keto for me. So I'm not going to buy it. At Walmart in particular, and I've seen this product in a few other places, but I'm gonna call out Walmart on this. Walmart has started carrying a lot of products that they label as keto, but you have to be careful and you have to read them. One of the products is a coffee creamer, and it's in the coffee aisle, and it says keto coffee creamer with coconut sugar. Again, sugar is sugar, whether it comes from a coconut or whether it comes from a cane or whether it comes from corn or beets. It's still sugar. It's going to spike your insulin levels, then it's going to drop, lower your blood sugar, drive that ghrelin response, make you hungrier over time, put you back on the same cycle. It's labeled as keto. There's nobody telling them they can't label it as keto under the FDA or anything like that, so they get away with it. And a lot of people buy it thinking that they're going to be on a ketogenic diet because it's got MCT oil and because the sugar is coconut, as if that sugar isn't somehow going to affect your blood sugar. It's still going to affect it. People will often confuse gluten-free for keto. There are a lot of products out there that are extremely high in carbs, contain grains, and can be gluten-free, and they're not good for you at all once you read the ingredients and understand what they are. So gluten-free was actually one that, frankly, most of the time I see it, I ignore it, I don't pay attention, I turn over, read the ingredients, and see if it's actually keto. There are several products that people have recommended to me, and I've gone out there and I've looked at these tortilla chip substitutes and things like that. They're gluten free. They must be keto. Gluten is not a sugar. It has nothing to do with a ketogenic diet. People avoid it because of the problems it causes with digestion and stomach issues and autoimmune and other types of things. Gluten can cause a lot of problems with. It has nothing to do with keto. So if you see something on a label and it says gluten free, doesn't mean it's keto. You still got to read the ingredients. Gluten's actually a protein. And see here, which one, what else? Kombucha. Many people on the ketogenic diet do consume kombucha, and kombucha is pretty tricky. The carbs labeled on the kombucha are not necessarily the carbs that are in the bottle because it's fermented. And the bacteria has eaten a lot of the carbohydrates, pooped it out to create the fermentation, and that carb count isn't in there. However, sometimes some kombucha companies add additional sugars, and it's really hard to tell which ones have done that and which ones haven't. When they add additional sugars after the fermentation that the bacteria hasn't had a chance to consume, well, it's still going to spike your blood sugar. If you're going to have something like a kombucha, then what I would do is get a good quality tester like a Keto Mojo, have a small amount, a few sips, and test a few minutes later and see what happens with your blood sugar. If your blood sugar stays within the ketogenic range, well, then you can have some. But you want to monitor those portion size, because most of the time that one bottle of kombucha is often 2 to 3 servings. So with kombucha, I generally pour a small glass, sip on it, and then move on. And sometimes that glass will sit in there, depending on what type of kombucha I buy. There are some kombuchas I know I can drink the whole bottle and be fine. But there are some flavored, especially the flavored soda like kombucha. There's ones that taste like Dr. Pepper, root beer, Coca-Cola. There's a lot more sugars in those, so you have to be very moderate about those. All right, everybody. Have a great day. And when you're playing this game of Is This Food Keto, again, make sure you read the labels, understand what the sugars are and what they might do, and then you'll answer your own question. The other thing is to, one thing I want to leave you with is, even if it's a product that you've bought before that was ketogenic at one point, always periodically check the labels, because they often change formulas and sometimes will include things that are not ketogenic in there and still be labeled keto. All right, everybody, have a great day.